another good day, you know?
Him
When I got
talking
my
to the
3-month
void
chip, my
again.
sponsor Pearl took me out for ice cream. Like I was a kid. When we were in line, after ordering some frankly ill-advised flavor combinations, she held it out to me and she said, "Hey, if you lose this, we always have more." Then she let go and informed me that I'd be paying for the ice cream. That day meant everything. I don't know if you've ever been on a wagon, but falling off, it feels like tumbling down a well. There's just water and walls, worn completely smooth. It feels like you've lost the ability to be a different person again. So you go from 3 months between relapses to 2 days one day. And Pearl said that was okay. As long as I kept coming back for that chip again. Because they always had more. I remember the old heads who showed me how to handle a gun at a range I shouldn't have been at, telling me about werewolves in Vietnam, lighting a fire in me to search for the unbelievable. I'm thinking I had a lot of good days. For as long as I have left, I'm glad I can see them.
And again, that breaking of kind of cycles of abuse, being like, oh, well, you know, my one good day that I had was with this person. There we go.
Let's
And
hope
it
that
turns
big,
out,
beautiful ball means something good, huh?
actually, sometimes
I'm too tired to pretend I don't care.
you had a lot of things, you actually had a lot of things in your life that mattered outside of that person that you feel was everything. Even beyond abuse, I think. It's like, you know, with
There's the angels to make an appearance.
You know, whatever, but like relationships, you know, if you have a relationship and it ends, like it's very hard to kind of see the potential of like a new relationship. Like you think, oh, the only kind of stuff that existed within this relationship, and then it turns out, hey, actually, there were a lot of good people, there are a lot of good moments, there are a lot of good things that can actually be out there, even beyond that. You just have to like take the time to see that for what it is. So we are, you know, speaking of seeing for what it is, we are on the, I believe, the penultimate level of this game. I believe that this is the last actual level of the game before the end game. Which I'm sure you probably have already guessed what the final level of this game is going to be. If you are savvy. And if you're not, well, you'll see. But it's done. And of course, if you're listening, you can kind of hear those little bells from the opening.
Did you know that Transylvania had a baseball team?
I forgot about this.
Janet?
Can you say my name?
Janet.
No, my other name. Dracula.
Dracula.
In a sentence. Please.
Hey, Dracula, can you please pass me a butter? How was that?
It was good.
Do you want me to keep using it?
I think
don't know if that's the last one, but it's one of the last ones for sure. Oh, hey.
Anyone home?
I don't think I got that dialogue before.
That's some real shit.
This is, as far as kind of final game, final level executions go, like, this is so pretty. Very pretty, very unique. Very much sets you up for what you're about to experience in the last little thing. Even though this is kind of a little, last little kind of horde, going through a horde to, you know, get to the end kind of experience, like, it is still sufficiently challenging. There's a lot of enemies flying at me at the moment. Even if I'm, doing pretty decently for myself at the moment. I will say that the one great thing about this is that, like, the draw distance is very, very good. And, you know, there's no chance of, like, being inside of something. There's no chance of kind of, like, any disruptive kind of architecture prevent you from kind of doing what you need to do. You're pretty much always set to be able to see, you know, angels in the distance, witches in the distance, and to be able to kind of blow them up from a pretty far range if you're careful.
Am I gonna do it?
As well as your
Holy
normal
shit.
enemies there too.
I made it to the pyramid.
Whoa.
Just give me a little more. Just let me. For as long as it takes, please, just let me finish strong.
And there you go. On to the final location.
Are you still doing this?
I get one chance to be myself again. And there is a price opening the door to things that should stay in the dark. I don't get to pay it a second time.
I know. I know what it's like to want to go back to a different version of yourself. To idealize this point before when you were innocent. That person and that time and that place are gone, Dracula. You are still here. You get to choose.
I do, James.
Please don't make me blow your head off.
I'm not the devil. I'm just taking back what's mine. Wouldn't you?
All right, then.
So now it's time for the final boss. So Janet's a very interesting kind of final boss, where she has, like, specific tactics that are retained from enemies from earlier. The main thing that you have to kind of keep in consideration is the actual range of her attacks.
This is it. I'm outside of myself watching the monster I love. No one
she has that little attack,
Watching my
melee
body
attack
pump
that she
bullets into
does.
wrists I held. A throat I kissed. I wish we were screaming. Something, anything. I wish there was anything left to say.
And then she has kind of this distanced attack that she'll do as well. But if you're able to kind of get a perspective of the range, she's honestly much easier to fight than Jay is. You just have to listen for kind of breath. Like as soon as she starts, you know, roaring, growling, doing that stuff, that's when you dodge. The main thing that's tricky about her is that she does move around as much as she does. She does have that attack, but largely you can even just kind of hide behind stuff to, like, dodge it. Like, it's very easy to teledodge that. She'll occasionally change up her tactics by doing a mirror attack. But again, as long as you're able to keep your health high, you can survive most of the stuff that she's doing. I would say, like, hitting her with stuff that, like, shoots more is better than hitting her with stuff that's, like, more damaging.
I'm outside of myself,
Much like
watching
with
the monster I love.
Where I think it's just
Noting the
just
lovely, ominous danger in her every move.
fill her with as much bullets as you can. Reduce her health as much as you
I'm
can.
watching my body pump bullets into wrists I held. A throat I kissed. I wish we were screaming. Something, anything. I wish
But
there was
honestly,
anything left
like,
to say.
thinking about it, like, this is really kind of like, this part at least is really kind of easy to figure out. Especially if you've been playing the game very smartly. Like, if you're at a point in the game where you're, like, able to deal with most of, like, the, you know, Frankensteins without, like, getting walled, you can probably handle her. Oh, no. Have to keep in consideration that. I'm really not making a great case for being like, I understand how to do this like perfectly by getting killed by the things that I'm saying are easy to telegraph and then falling off the level. But yeah, you always want to make sure that you're moving in this situation.
This is it. I'm outside of myself, watching the monster I love. Noting the lovely, ominous danger in her every move. I'm watching my body pump bullets into wrists I held. A throat I kissed. I wish we were screaming. Something, anything. I wish there was anything left to say.
does that. Oh! Alright, well. Clearly, I do not have the juice that I thought I did when it comes to fighting her here. But I can pretty much detail her tactics as necessary. So, as long as you're careful and not acting the way I do, you're pretty much safe. Another thing is she doesn't take hit stun at all, so you really should be careful at any indication, even if you are kind of like shooting her and doing what you need to do.
I'm watching my body.
Oh. I see her teleporting, but like, I'm not sure that's helping her any.
I'm outside of myself watching the monster I love. Lovely, ominous danger in her every move. I'm watching my body pump bullets into her sail. Throat, I guess. I wish we were screaming. Something, anything. I wish there was anything left to say.
Oops.
That's it.
Or is it? She keeps going.
Turned a man to a beast right in front of me. The only one that I see. Utterly naked. See a black man pounding the taking the thin-haired bastards craving sweat.
Thankfully, in this stage, she only has one life bar left. But she is a little bit tougher to deal with. So you need to be very careful with how you want to approach this. But yeah, one big life bar to put out, which if you are careful enough, makes her a little bit easier to deal with, because you don't have to put yourself in range of her till the end.
Into the seats that were given them with every and I can see that he's
Oh no! The good news with this is that you don't have to start the entire sequence over. Which makes you wonder why you have to do that with Jay, honestly. But yeah, there's a nice, healthy little checkpoint to it for you. Up. It's okay. One more step. For her, you may notice that the Uzi is probably kind of like the main thing to use. Like, you can reduce her to like nothing in like seconds, honestly, with that. And it's reloads really quick in comparison to some of the other weapons that you may have at your disposal. And that's it. We are done.
I would have been good at it.
I know. Royalty suits you.
I am genuinely shocked that I was able to pull that off in the way that I did.
A lot of my sacrifices died, James. You don't think you'll face judgment for that?
Also,
as long as you don't get them.
This is different
What was that?
in comparison to what you have here.
What did you do?
My soul's blood. I didn't want you to get any nasty ideas at the last minute.
Soul blood?
It's how you turn someone. There would be victory in giving it to you. Giving you time to turn cruel and strange and lonely. Because deep down, like everyone else, you want to be special. But you don't get to be like me. You are going to die next to the person who hurt you. Even though you won.
Jesus.
But Akale,
Damn.
you aren't the god. You aren't even a monster. You're a hurting person who did a lot of fucked up shit. Dying in a 2-star motel next to your ex. It would be funny if it wasn't so human.
You are a fucking poor excuse for a saint, James Savage.
I think I'm done too. I don't think there's anything big I have to say or that I have the right to say, really. I'm 10 minutes sober.
Gets elevated all the way back up to the top. Wow.
Thanks for believing.
So that is El Paso Elsewhere. Like I said before, and like I've consistently said, what a very well-designed game. You know, whether it is from the narrative to the levels, to in large part the music, to just the way that like everything all fits together. This game, I mean, obviously I feel like it drew a lot of people's attention when it was first shown off, because, you know, you've got the Max Payne, the slowdown, that type of stuff during a time where, I mean, this was announced before the Max Payne kind of reboots or Max Payne kind of stuff was kind of put out there that they're gonna, remaster all of that. So, from that perspective alone, like being able to create a game that brings that bullet time, John Woo Stranglehold, Max Payne kind of, gameplay forward is something that's interesting, and being able to do a neo-noir that is able to kind of pull that off as effectively as it did with, all the stuff that they put in there to boot. It's definitely something where I feel like when you are making a game and when you're trying to, put some stuff together, there's a lot that has to go into that. You may have noticed, Mr. Nelson Jr., the head of the studio, the person who voices James, the person who is largely kind of the voice of most of the characters in the game for the most part. He is very much kind of like this is very much, it definitely feels like it's his brainchild. It definitely feels like something where it's like this comes together because of him. Like the vision and the thought process and the kind of ideas are very, very strong because, you kind of had that central head being able to kind of like put all of this forward into the universe. But there's plenty of people, that, as you can see, that worked on this game, that helped port it, that helped create it, that helped make it what it is. It'd be very easy to kind of like look at that and just be like, this is the person who should principally be, kind of praised for this game. The two performers, and in the case of one of the performers being the person who's the rapper, the voice actor for most of the characters, the director, the project head. Definitely a lot going on there. But I would say that like more than the story, like I feel like there's going to be plenty of people who can look at just the levels and the way that this game operates on just that idea alone, and just be able to kind of say like, yeah, this game rules for that reason too. So I'm gonna let the credits play out through here, but then after that I'm going to show the other ending, because I did unlock the other ending when I played through the game on my own time previously. And maybe that'll be interesting to kind of see, because it's been a couple of months since I saw that ending. I'm curious to see which ending I like more. It is interesting that ending felt more emotional, like I would say like I've mentioned this before, but like, games like Life is Strange or like some games like that where it's like you can tell that they had one ending planned, and then they were like, but people definitely are going to want to do this other thing. So you should make it so that there is at least like an ending sequence, at least a choice in an ending sequence there. Like Bay or Bay, in the original Life is Strange. It's like if it was just you let, Chloe die in that, then it's like, oh, here's all the dogs. PowerPoint. I don't think that's the name of it. That could be the name of a dog, honestly. That could be the name of the dog. That's the crazy thing. But it's that type of thing where it's like, hey, with Bay versus Bay, it's like obviously there's gonna you've cultivated a large following of like, you know, LGBT people who are going to want to choose the girl over saving the city specifically. So they had an ending there, but it was very clear when you play that ending that it's just like there's no music, there's no like actual ending there basically. Oh, they do credit Remedy Games there. That's pretty cool. They credit Sam Lake, and they credit a lot of, I would assume that a lot of people are kind of Sam Chief is who's credited there, not Sam Lake. My bad. But you can definitely tell that like that was a main inspiration there. So, huh. Is that the ending?
I tell myself it was always going to be a one-way trip.
No, that's not it.
That's what love is.
Well, tell you what. Since I do have my save here, I don't see why I don't just do it again. Okay, so I did actually have to
I
finish
would have been good at it.
that
you
last
bastard.
fight in order to get this thing.
Royalty suits you.
It's unfortunate, but you know.
I really didn't think you'd save so many of them.
I just
But this is the original
tried.
that I read.
It's nice to have it work for once. What is this?
It's my soul's blood. It's how you turn someone. It's how I win.
I don't want this.
But you will want it. Because you don't want to die. And you still want to be special. You'll have enough time to turn cruel and lonely. You fucking poor excuse for sake.
There are, you know, similar lines between the two. But
I
she
win.
does just straight up go,
I'll
In
see
the
you in hell
the one that I got, when you kill
when
all
your
the
own
hostages,
sins catch up with
she
you.
breaks it. And the one where you save all the hostages, she gives
And
it
that's
to
how
you
she dies.
regardless.
Resenting a lack of body count.
You don't really say that much.
I want to
to
throw it
her in
into the wall.
original.
I want to
I mean,
smash it into the
this-
floor and have my last sensation be the wet scratch of glass against flesh as I crush it into the ground. I want my vision to fade away as I reject her and everything she did to me. My lovely, tragic death.
I guess it's interesting that the one that you
But she
saved
isn't the
most
god.
hostages is gonna be the one where it's like, yeah,
She was just a hurt person who did fucked up things
it kind of is
until
the
it
bad
became
ending
easier to define
in a
herself by
sense.
the people she damaged than to change.
I
She
guess
measured
both
her
are kind
impact
of
in
bad
scars.
endings in a sense, you know.
It is terrifying to think of dying with all of these scars, let alone
Because
living
in
with
both,
them,
I mean, obviously dying
trying
is
with them,
a bad ending.
trying to be good. But I can. And I did.
But is becoming a vampire
And I
a
do.
good ending?
The sun's rising outside. Somewhere inside me, something responds to the approaching light. I'm 10 minutes sober. And scars fade. Fuck it.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like that ending more than I like the other one. I think I like the other one more than I like that ending. Actually, I will say. Like it's not to say that it feels like a worse ending or it feels like a less realized ending, but I guess as far as kind of like, you know, setting about the actual goals that you want to set about, it's like I think like Dracula, like, you know, not like in both situations, Dracula kind of gives James like a sort of an abusive kind of choice there, where it's like, yeah, like I'm giving you the thing that makes you live forever, and you know, of course you're gonna take it because you just want to be special and you want to be perfect, and you know you can't resist it, basically. Like that in of itself is definitely like an abusive way to approach things. But then taking it out of his hands and being like, yeah, because you don't deserve it. You want to be special, but you actually aren't. And, you know, screw you, basically. is also in of itself definitely an abusive approach there too. So I think it's one of those things where you're just left with kind of like this thing where James is kind of like, well, I clearly have to figure out how I have to deal with this. I clearly have to figure out what I want to say to this and what I want to do with this. And I think like the ending of him kind of rising back up and dying inside of the hotel is a little bit better than him kind of being like, well, you know, she gave it to me. I actually do. She's right. You know, I don't know. Because it's almost kind of him breaking from the cycle to die. But then it's, you know, him dying still. Now, of course, we can't wrap up a stream or wrap up a video without showing the best cutscene in the game. So let's see it one more time, Playboy.
I think I saw a werewolf in that fucking bathroom.
And there it is. That is El Paso Elsewhere.